Not all variable neutral density filters are created equal. Some will really screw up your image, and some do a fantastic job, but usually they cost a lot. NiSi has come to the table with the Jetmag Pro VND system from 1 to 9 stops, plus a 1/8 mist filter as well. And I think this might be one of the best ones on the market for the price point. Let's talk about it right now. All right, guys, full disclosure, NiSi is sponsoring this video, but I don't take on any sponsored videos unless I use the product and I stand by it. And what NiSi's done with the Jetmag Pro magnetic VND system is absolutely fantastic. I've been using this for the past month and a half thereabouts. You've been seeing a lot of videos on this channel using this system right here. And I've been very, very happy with the performance and how easy it is to use. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the VND system and neutral density filters as a whole. So if you're new to this, you're wondering, what is this exactly, Bobby? Essentially, it's a sunglass that goes on the front of your lens. So when you're outdoors filming, you still can maintain, let's say, a fast aperture, like I'm shooting on a 1.2 lens right now. And I can be outdoors, bright sunlight, and I can still maintain this nice depth of field if I want it to be that way. Because yeah, if you don't have one of these things, what can you do? You can drop the ISO on your camera. You can bring it down to 100 or 64 or 50, depending on whatever camera system is. Then also you can stop down on the aperture, close the aperture down. So you can bring it down to f8, f11, f16, where have you, but you're gonna lose a little bit of depth of field. So if you wanna stay, let's say at 1.2, 1.4 f2 outdoors, you know you're gonna need to add something to the lens, because here's the rule of thumb, right? When you're shooting video, for example, I'm shooting in 4K 25p. You wanna be, your shutter speed should be double your frame rate. So it should be 1/50. Now, yes, you can crank up your shutter speed, but you get this very digital, jittery look to your footage sometimes, and it can really throw you off, and it can throw the viewer off. They'll be like, this doesn't feel right, it doesn't look right. And you don't want that. You want that very natural motion blur to your shots. And that's why you see a lot of people, even with the Pocket 3s and action cameras, they're putting on ND systems to give that nice, natural look that also makes your image or video look a bit more cinematic. At the same time, for photographers out there, if you want to, let's say, capture, a waterfall, that nice kind of blur to the waterfall, but keep everything sharp in the background, you need to bring down that shutter speed, but at the same time, you can't. When you do that, there's going to be a lot of light coming into the camera system, so you need a sunglass to come over that. If you want that nice sort of glassy look to the water, if you're shooting, let's say, a river, the same concept comes into play. That's where a VND system or an ND system comes, that's what you would use it for. Now, there's two options in here. There's ND, neutral density filters, which you stack on one another, or you can just take one off and use on respectively. So let's say, depending on how much light you want to let in, you would stack on one, then you would change it as you go. And then there's the variable one, which you turn, and it adjusts the exposure from 1 to 5 stops, 2 to 5 stops, 2 to 9 stops, depending. Everyone's got a little bit of a different way that they do it. Now, the VND system makes a lot more sense. It's easy to use. It's a one-stop solution. But back in the day, you would get a lot of color shift coming into play. Sometimes a big magenta shift or a little green shift. The skies would look all out of whack. Your blues would look out of whack. Or maybe you would get like a darkness on the top of your screen and then be bright at the bottom. And it can look really messy, right? So a lot of people, even professionals, even in film today, will use standard ND filter systems. What NiSi's done here is they created a very good VND system that does not give you any sort of color shift and no cross polarization, because there's a polarized filter on this as well. So you have a nice look to your image that still looks very, very natural. You have a lot more flexibility if you're out around, running and gunning. So if you're going to walk into shade, you're going to go outdoors, you can easily adjust your exposure with this. At the same time, keep that frame rate and keep that really nice natural motion blur. That's what these are for. So again, not the sexiest product out there, but these are integral to getting really good photos and videos, especially if you want to be a little bit more creative, or for video, you want it to look much more natural and more quote unquote cinematic. All right, so let's talk about this system. So basically what it is you have these adapters on here from 67 millimeters up to 82 millimeters on the kit that I have. NiSi also has an option that gives you up to 86 and 95 millimeter filter threads. So that's going to be depending on the size of your lens. This one right here, this Panasonic 85 1.8 is 67. So what I do is I screw this portion onto it. It's an adapter, and I've got various different adapters on that. Screw it, locks in. So I have all the different adapters that come in. It comes in a case as well. So you have that all here, right? So I have 60, I have 72, 77, 82, all inclusive with this, and I also have covers, all right? Now on top of this as well, I have a 1/8 mist filter that comes with it. So that's going to cut the sharpness off your lens. So if you're using a very modern lens like what we're using right now, right, it can be very, very sharp. You could show all the pores and all the imperfections. A 1/8 mist will just cut that sharpness a bit, give you a much more organic look, as we like to call it. Then on top of this, it comes with a 4-stop additional ND filter. So let's say I'm in bright light, and even the 1 to 5 stops this has is not enough, right? I don't want to stop down on my aperture. I still want to maintain that really nice open aperture to get that nice depth of field. Then I want to add this 4-stop on top of that. Now I have 5 to 9 stops to play with in terms of like sort of adjusting that sunglass on the lens. And again, when you add this on, it's magnetic, as you see, pops on, it's beautiful. There's nothing to screw on. It's very easy to use. And that's part of the Jetmag Pro system that I actually like. So once you screw on this adapter, you pop this on here. You can take this off. You see it very easy to come off. Pop this on, locks in, and I just adjust it to this white line on the back. And once I do, it's not coming off. The magnets lock in and it stays there. Now I have this polarizer there, which I can adjust. So I can turn that around to adjust the polarization. What does that do exactly? Well, let's say that you're shooting a glass building and you want to cut the reflection a little bit, or maybe you're shooting a car and you want to cut the reflection off the windshield and the side glass. You want a polarizing filter right there that you turn it and you adjust it and it will cut that glare. That's what this does. You want to take a reflection off water, the same concept. So that's on this, it's built inside of this as well. Once I set the polarization, I can adjust the ND separately so it does not affect my setting for the polarization that I have already here. That's a very good thing that NiSi's done with this, right? And then after that, you just stack on as you need, right? So if I'm in bright daylight, let's say 2-3 p.m. in the afternoon here in Singapore, it's very bright. 1 to 5 stops is not going to do it for me, especially if I'm shooting at 1.2 aperture. I'm going to need these extra 4 stops. I pop that on there. I'm good to go. And then if I want to cut that sharpness, pop on the 1/8 mist filter, and you're good to go with that. So that's essentially what the VND system is here. And the one thing, as I mentioned earlier, what NiSi's done so well with the Jetmag Pro system is you don't get any sort of color shift. So with that said, are there any things I wish were improved on this system? Let's talk about that. In terms of the magnetic system, it's very easy to use. So what you do, you have this white line on the back of the adapter right here. Now, here's the problem with that, right? So when you have it mounted to your camera, like I'm doing it right now, I'd have to stop what I'm doing, go to the back, adjust it. Okay, it's there, I'm good, and then come back. It's not gonna fall off. I mean, this is, even if I don't have it locked on, it's not coming off. This is pretty secure. But it's something that you just want to make sure about it. It'd be nice if there was a bit of a click or a bit of a lock that you go, okay, I know I'm locked in, I'm secure. That would be my only thing. It's not a deal breaker because the magnets on this are already really strong. I mean, I have to pull off with some force on this, but again, it would be nice to have. Outside of that though, what NiSi's done is absolutely fantastic. If you're looking for something like this for your photography and for your videography, NiSi's got it here with the Jetmag Pro. Really changed the VND market out there. No color cast, no sort of cross polarization. They've done a beautiful job with this, and I highly, highly recommend it. Even though they're sponsoring this video, I think this is absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, those are my thoughts on the VND system. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, any questions you have, ask me. I'll try to answer those for you. Like always, like, subscribe. Thank you so much for the support. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll chat to you all very, very soon.